so the tip-off. It's Miami. All fuel. Up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. Dang and Bosch are the 3 and 4. Johnson is out there with Dragic, and it's Whiteside in at the 5, roaming the.
Up high and down hard.
That's how you use it, brother.
The solo alley-oop. That's not something we see too often.
Timed it perfectly. You're right, and caught the defense totally off guard.
I remember Tracy McGrady doing that. First guy I ever saw pull that off.
Well, there is a reason they call it Loud City. Oklahoma City, voted by NBA GMs as having the best home court advantage in the NBA. The fans are on top of you and engaged from start to finish.
On defense, the Heat. Okafor with the ball. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam. Nasty. Absolutely filthy.
And the building is stunned, partner. He dug deep into his bag of tricks there.
I hope he keeps that one handy. I want to see that again.
Double team on Dang. Okafor with the steal. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off. Nice ops and determination that time. Clark to get to the rim.
We know he can bounce, and right there an example of how dangerous he is when he's got a path to the hoop.
And you love the versatility, guys. Being a point guard, and in this situation, they tack on 2 more points, expanding the lead in a pretty deflating way for the defense.
First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. That's good. Okafor's got 8 points.
And they're on fire. They've made 4 straight shots to get this thing going.
Right now we're going to go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. What'd you find out, Doris?
There are a lot of big names to deal with in this one, but perhaps none bigger than LeBron James. He told me planning for LeBron is a headache because he can do so much on the floor, saying there isn't a hole in his game. The only real way to slow him down is to get him working against himself. Physically, there is no answer for LeBron.
All right, Doris.
Miami has their hands full guarding against Okafor.
He already has 8 points, and he was able to come up with 1 steal, too.
Yeah, he's defending very well, Clark. He's disrupting the offense. He's playing the passing lanes, trying to put as much pressure on as possible.
Not a big surprise, but the Heat, Steve, were the best team in the East last year when it came to playing teams in the Western Conference.
Yeah, that's not a shock at all because they have the most talent from the East, and I think only facing those clubs twice each, Miami was much more likely to be up for those games from an emotional standpoint.
There's the feed to George. 6 on the shot clock. Releases. And the jumper is good. 11 points for the natural.
You know, back to your point about the Heat in the West, they were the only wins against the Western Conference.
Outside Dragic. Bosch, that's the pick for Dragic. That's good. Dragic has got his second basket.
You know, he was smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Agreed. As long as he picks his spots, his outside shot will be hard to block, no matter who's on it.
Okafor kicks to LeBron. Dragic against Okafor. Shot is no good. And it's Miami the other way.
And for a team in the East, that's often the real test of how good you are. Of course, that wasn't really a question for the Heat, as they were always regarded as the team to beat last year in the NBA.
Sinks the three-pointer. Okafor's got 14 points for the game.
Very positive opening quarter for them. The shots have been falling.
You know, the shooting percentage would be nice if it stayed right there, but that's going to be tough to do.
Well, Goran Dragic is one of those interesting character studies. Off the court, he's very humble and quiet and laid back, but tell you what, when he gets on the court, he plays with an aggression and a fire at both ends of the floor.
Free throw drops for Goran Dragic. You talk about Dragic, plays with a lot of heart, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He plays with emotion and ferocity, and intensity. And he gets into you defensively, applies pressure, and creates turnovers, and does the same thing by attacking offensively.
Okafor against Dragic. Okafor, the pass to George. James wide open. And it's Okafor off the drive. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Okafor's got 16 points.
Oh, boy, I love watching this guy play. He just lives and breathes the game. Loves to be out on the floor with his guys.
Miami no good on that time either. Oklahoma City leading by 8. Outside, Davis. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. It's tipped. Johnson kicks to Bosch. Johnson left side. Bosch heads the pick for Johnson. Right side, Dragic. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. That's now 8 points for Goran Dragic.
He's having quite the quarter here, guys. I mean, shooting the ball extremely well.
And it's Okafor off the drive. Johnson over to help. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. Just 5 on the clock. And the foul goes against Miami. The Heat making a switch here. Chalmers is checked in. There's 45 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Pocket 6. Okafor gets the bucket. Okafor's got 19 points.
He's just been the man since the start of this quarter. And just a tremendous period of basketball for him.
And it's Dragic off the drive. Here's Whiteside, and good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Okafor with the ball. Now guarded by Dragic. Okafor gets the bucket.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
Well, that's 3 of the last 5 makes, having been behind the three-point line. So got to make some adjustments defensively. I don't know who was supposed to be on him there, but clearly a mistake by the defense.
Now here is George. For the 3. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
Pretty good grasp of the game plan coming into this one. That's been very apparent.
And anytime a team gets a double-digit lead in the first quarter, Steve, you could be headed for blowout city.
Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. Thunder lead by 11. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. Take on the scoring breakdown for the Thunder.
Now, they didn't waste any time getting into a groove out there. They're dialed in from long range.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunities. They're really keeping it up tempo so far.
They've got LeBron James, the natural out there with Paul George. Then there's Davis, and it's McGarry in at the 5. That's the lineup out there for the Thunder. And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Kevin, Paul George has stated plainly that he hopes to post up much more often. Last season, he was basically dead last among forwards, only posting up on 5% of his possessions. He's put on muscle and developed his back-to-the-basket footwork. He said, quote, I plan on being a lot more physical, seeking contact and finishing through it. That's my next step. He's trying to evolve, Kevin.
A good move considering his size and explosiveness, Doris. Thanks. Here's Chalmers. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. McGarry's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
Oh, man, that was unreal. Mark it up.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, Mark?
Well, you know what the questions are about now. It's their defense, that's for sure.
Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. Back to James. To the wing right side. They double him with Dang. Okafor dishes to LeBron. From 17 feet out. And Okafor at the basket on the assist by James. 31 points for the natural. And Miami calls their first time out of the game. But if you're trying to craft in your imagination the ideal, flawless basketball player, you'd have a hard time doing much better than LeBron James.
The 21st century version of the best video game player ever, and also happens to be the best real game player ever, too. I mean, one of them anyway. That's why Eric Spoelstra, the coach, called him 1 through 5. And that's a perfect way to describe LeBron James.
Oklahoma City moving the ball around, and it's Okafor off the drive, and the shot is good. Okafor's got the lead up to 14 now for the Thunder.
You know, it seems like when they've gone to him, he's really come through, and that's not something they should get away from.
Okafor against Chalmers. Davis with the double team.
And for LeBron, has he reached his peak? He says he's still a relative newcomer to working down on the block, and that's one area he's continuing to improve. They're developing moves and then counter moves against post defense.
Johnson, and misses it off the right side of the rim.
And the rebounding numbers don't actually tell the whole story. I mean, they're barely ahead in that category, but when they've needed them, they've gotten them. They've really battled hard.
It's their work on the glass, Steve, that's prevented any kind of momentum swing.
LeBron outside. It's tipped. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. Johnson's got the ball. Thunder with the rebound.
And for LeBron, you know, he said he didn't enjoy posting up early in his career, but as his command on the low block has improved, he's got more comfortable with it. And I think now it's something that he really relishes.
Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Okafor. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
This is outrageous. Every shot they're taking right now seems to be finding the mark.
Literally every shot. They are absolutely rolling.
The Heat trail by 18. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. And that one's good. Okafor's got 39.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Now, you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out in the perimeter, make them beat you from long range.
Here's Chalmers. 11 feet out, and he hits it. Chalmers has got his first 2 points of the night.
Boy, that was impressive. Major height disadvantage, but he still got the shot up over his man.
Well, he's got the poise to handle it.
Unbelievable.
Old school time now. He broke to the rack, Kev.
And his raw power. Clark, raw, unbridled power.
And this place is shaking.
Expanding his range. No luck. So the Thunder will take it the other way. And it's Okafor off the drive and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. They get Luol Deng. The Thunder have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
Well, you look at the numbers from a season ago. This team shot about 81% as a unit. Very impressive.
You know, success at the line just became contagious for him. A few guys got on a roll, and it carried over to the rest of the team.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Whiteside comes in for Anderson. It's Haslam in for Josh McRoberts. Johnson in the corner. Back to Dang. Launches a three. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Okafor's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
You got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboard.
Well, they've done a lot of things right, but I agree with you, Coach. Their rebounding is right there at the top of the list.
Reverses. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Well, if you remember early in Eric Spoelstra's head coaching career, when he was new and the big 3 were assembled, there were some people questioning Spoelstra's command, maybe even within the team. Those questions are long gone now. He has become an excellent head coach.
And stolen by Chalmers. Tipped away. He's got a clear path. And then Okafor slams it in. It's not possible what we just caught. It's possible.
Not probable, but it is possible, partner.
It's possible. Not probable. It is possible. I don't know what all that meant, but you're right, Clark.
Here's Chalmers. And too long on the shot.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
And it's Okafor off the drive. And again, it's Oklahoma City.
Might as well just take it into his own hands and make that big lead even bigger.
With 2 seconds left, and he sinks the layup. Chalmers has got 6 in the quarter.
Beautiful job angling his body, shielding the big man from the ball on his way to the basket.
Going to take it down there amongst the tall trees.
And so,
Hey, Kevin, well, Coach,
well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. What can you say? The natural and impressive effort here today.
Well, in terms of his points in the first half, I mean, that's pretty much what we've come to expect out of him.
Yeah, that's an open book on all you need to know about what talent he has. I'll bet he adds a lot more to that tally in the second half.
The Thunder leading by 22.
Well, it's been said time and time again that this building is not only one of the loudest in the league, but it most approximates a college environment with the energy, and that's a huge help for the Thunder.
On the floor for Miami, Dang and Bosch are the 3 and 4. Johnson is out there with Dragic, and it's right side and at the pivot, manning the middle.
This guy's putting on a clinic out there. Everything is sound and sharp and crisp. He's really the centerpiece of their offense.
And it really is deafening talking about the volume of this OKC crowd when their team is rolling. Definitely has an impact on how they are able to win at home.
Dang gets a wide open look, and that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. Dang's got himself on the board with 3 there.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
And Okafor slams it in. Clark, can you believe it? A point guard who can soar like that?
Man, I tell you what, that's a major elevation there. That's a power finish for a player at any position.
Well, he is not afraid to take it inside. We know that.
Well, the Thunder were able to dominate here last season. Clark, 34 home wins, which tied them for most out west.
And that was one off the league best of 35 home wins by my favorite franchise in the NBA, the Indiana Pacers. No team has ever had an easy time coming in here and escaping with the win against this Thunder squad.
Dragic, the pass to Bosch. Back to Dragic. 6 to shoot. Dishes it to Johnson. Bosch against George. Dang, a screen on James. And it's Johnson penetrating. Heat moving the ball around. Bosch, no one around him. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
Such a solid performance for them inside. Their rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today.
And that one's good. For Miami, they've gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break.
Luol Deng is the definition of the game. He averaged over 38 minutes a game over the last 5 seasons with the Bulls. Played with a fractured thumb, torn ligaments in his wrist. He always goes all out at both ends every time he's on the court.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Eric Spoelstra was saying to his team. He laid out their priorities for them, which began with his admonition that offensively they attack the basket at every opportunity. He said also that their offense needs to be a patient one. He told them, don't rush things. Use as much of that shot clock as you need to. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the 4th quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Dragic against Okafor. 5 to shoot. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And when you talk about the physical toll for Deng playing those long minutes, tremendous discipline and dedication to keep his body ready to go. You know, his hard work and leadership has to be missed by the Bulls on and off the court.
And for Deng, back in the 2013 playoffs, he tried to practice through complications from a spinal tap. You don't hear that very often. That was a life-threatening condition.
And Kevin, he was unhappy with his care during that incident and said nobody from the Bulls checked up on him at the hospital. So I think that cast a real cloud over their ensuing contract negotiations. I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
Miami's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going.
Goran Dragic, nicknamed Goji, grew up in Slovenia. His mom played hoops. His dad played soccer. Goji started out playing soccer, but when he hurt his leg, his mom said, no more of that pitch stuff. You're going to the round ball and the hardwood. So he went to basketball, and I'd have to say it's worked out pretty well. Good call by mom on that, too.
Back to Okafor. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
And we're seeing the shots just dropping from everywhere right now.
Yeah, since halftime, Steve, they've been operating very efficiently.
And back to Dragic. He said, Steve, that the soccer background may have helped his football.
I think that's true in almost every case, Kevin. When you see a former soccer player on the basketball floor, it's not just the footwork, but it's the vision, it's the anticipation. I think the game really translates. You saw it with Steve Nash and Tony Kukoc. You see it with Dragic now.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout, just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that's not going to be able to continue if they hope to get back into this game, Clark. It's a deflating play for your morale.
And the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant 1 foul.
And that's the right call, no question about it. It's one thing to play tough D and commit a hard foul, but it's another to risk hurting your opponent with contact like that.
Yeah, very easy to get knocked off balance and take a nasty tumble when you get slammed into like that. And some changes here for the Heat. Haslam comes in for Hassan Whiteside. And it's Chalmers in for Johnson.
Wow, this game just a commanding performance for Dragic. He's got 16 points and some of his offense coming at the foul line with 5 points there.
5 pretty big points, Clark.
And so he's able to get 1 of 2.
They've shown effort and aggression in the paint right from the tip. Their rebounding edge is impressive.
And I'll tell you what, they've turned a lot of those rebounds into points at the other end. His work at the offensive end has been phenomenal. Maybe reason number 1, they're ahead. Well, the Miami Heat, since the Big Three assembled, have been a polarizing team. Some fans rooted for them, others rooted against them. Either way, they've been an incredible story for the league and have become just a huge draw around the NBA.
Here's Chalmers. Can't get it to go. Great D that time from Davis. Oklahoma City has gotten off 4 shots from 3-point range tonight and buried every one of them. 1:16 left to play here in the third.
Davis.
And now with the Big Three era coming to an end, Miami not perhaps one of the more hated teams around the NBA, but Clark, they are still at the forefront of the league scene in the East.
And while they might have lost a bunch of the bandwagon fans by being a title threat, there's just too much talent on this roster, and for the first time in a long time, they might enjoy being viewed as underdogs.
The Heat making a switch here. Nick Roberts has checked in.
And no question, he got bumped on that shot.
Definitely no room for discussion on that one.
And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for Oklahoma City?
From mid-range, it's been a very nice game for them. I mean, they've been finding the bottom of the net a lot.
And I'll tell you, the other thing that's been a factor is the transition game. They're scoring a lot of points on the fast break.
And Chalmers kicks to McRoberts. Feeds it to Bosch. Shoots from the baseline. Misses off the left iron.
I tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
Okafor up top. Defended by Chalmers. Now here's Okafor. Non-stop scoring machine here. And that one's good.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
The Heat have gone just 25% from the field here in the second half. They're 2 of 8. Chalmers dishes to Dragic. Chalmers pass to Haslam. Good ball movement here by Miami. And that one's good. Chalmers has got 10 points.
The defense has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
Boy, I'd like to know how many of their attempts have come from inside 5 feet. It seems like everything is right at the rim.
Okafor kicks to LeBron. On the wing, James. He gets it up. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. Thunder out in front, running away with this one. We'll take a quick break, then get you back to the action. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Well, today it comes from one of the men in the middle, Kevin. Let me tell you, anytime you get a big man who can pass like this, it really changes the way you can play offense, diversifies your offensive attack.
Let me ask you, who is the best passing big man you played with?
Luke Longley.
Ah, the Australian.
Yes, big redhead, good passer down on the low block.
The number 1 pick by the Minnesota Timberwolves. LeBron James is out there with Davis, and it's the natural. Then it's Paul George, and it's McGarry in at the 5 spot. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City.
Shabazz Napier, leading UConn to a national championship last season, showed he really can do it all. Shoot, pass, penetrate. He's an excellent defender. Maybe not the upside of some other picks, but you know what you're getting with Napier. A plug-in guard who can give you quality minutes right away.
George. Here's Okafor. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
Wow, such a steady hand. He's the one responsible for getting them this late lead.
Can't argue with that at all, Steve. His shooting percentage has been off the charts.
And the Heat eager to acquire Napier in the draft as a favorite of LeBron James. Easy to see why they'd want to bring him in.
And a really good selection at 24, just on talent alone. An undisputed leader, a big shot maker, tremendous IQ, better defensively than people think. I mean, he was very crafty as a defensive point guard, so I like the pick and I like his game.
Ennis on the double team. Okafor dishes to George. Just 5 on the clock. And it's Okafor off the drive, and there's another one for the Thunder.
That kind of sums up the defensive effort we've seen here tonight, guys.
Knocked loose. And LeBron with a clear path to the hoop. And Okafor slams it in. That's not as easy as he made it look, guys. You've got to have some skills to pull that baby off.
Well, he's got plenty of those skills necessary, partner.
Man.
Oh, you know it. The guy can climb the ladder, can't he?
Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth.
You know, an interesting study came out recently that argued that steals are really undervalued, not just because they create high-percentage scoring opportunities at the other end, but also there just aren't that many players who really excel in that area.
Good.
Very tough to get that shot off with the size differential there. It's not an individual matchup he's going to win every time, especially in the post.
Very well done. I didn't think he had any business operating down there with the big fellas.
Here's the break. Oh!
Are you kidding me? That was a power punch right there.
Great.
Well, you knew he'd win that race.
Definitely. I mean, that's what you call early offense.
Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Yeah, it's been really sloppy out there.
I understand that they're trying to be aggressive, but still, I mean, you can play fast but still play efficiently, but they're not doing that right now.
That was the third straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical. Be more aggressive.
I agree, Clark, but it doesn't look like they have the will to do that at this moment.
And another fast break for Oklahoma. Boy, look at the big ups, Clark.
Major bounce there. I mean, he can fly, folks. Really fly.
And we're seeing more and more of that, it seems, guys, out of the point guard spot in the NBA these days.
Walker. Shot's good by Walker.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Here's Okafor. Outside for George. Back to Okafor. Shot clock at 6. And Oklahoma City again with the bucket.
They're perfectly content to keep going to that mid-range jumper. If the defense is going to give it to them, they'll take it all day.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you have to just take what's there, and as long as you're moving the ball and getting good shots, that's all that matters.
Got it. Good job in the low post.
There's another fast break score against them, and they just aren't getting back on. D in transition, they've got to sprint back and find the ball.
Well, and at the very minimum, push the ball at the other end as well. I mean, if they're going to score on you in transition, you got to try to do the same thing at the other end.
Ennis passes to Napier from 10 feet out, and it's rejected. Here's Okafor. Outside, George. And it's Okafor off the drive. Now Ennis. Pass to Napier. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel.
You know, they can't afford to be playing so loose like that right now.
Exactly. I mean, this is when they need to tighten things up, firm things up, be more focused, not the other way around.
Now here's Okafor. He's guarded closely. From deep, George launches it. And Okafor at the basket on the assist by George. George has got assist number 5 here tonight.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Oklahoma City.
You're right there, Steve. In one area that stands out that we've seen tonight from them, Clark, their aggressiveness in getting steals, something I know that you really value yourself.
Well, it deflates the opposition when you can be pesky defensively, and then it sparks your offense, and that's what happened for them. When you have the type of effort we saw tonight, it's hard to overcome that kind of defensive pressure.
Well, you look back at this one, and what an amazing performance this has been for the natural. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket just seems to be incredibly wide.
And that one is hammered home.
A serious game-clinching run. They've taken off here. Impressive.
No backing off. What a surge at the right time.
Hit his foot. And it's whistled a kick. You know, it's apparent there what a leader he is, always communicating and keeping everyone on the floor in sync.
Yeah, regardless of whether he's having an off night or not, and that's what makes him such a great leader, just always trying to help his team any way he can.
And here's something else I love about him, guys. If one of his teammates is on the fringes of the game, maybe not as involved as he should be, then he takes it upon himself to get him involved.
Wasted no time on that one.
Terrific job taking care of business in front of the home fans.
And, Steve, I thought those fans, those home fans, gave this team a big lift all game. A lot of positive energy in the building.
Good.
Could have had this kind of run earlier in the game. It might have made a big difference.
You know, I think a big reason behind the run, Steve, is that they're not getting pressured as much by the defense now that the game's all but finished.
And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
Well, that's a wrap, fellas. No way you come back in this one.
Not anymore. Any chance of that happening went out the window a while ago.
And the Natural's going to pick up the foul. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
Second team foul. Into the lineup for the Heat.
15 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Mick Roberts' shot is good.
You know, what an advantage he brings to this offense, guys. I mean, being able to drain the three ball, that really can spread a defense and extend the defense as well.
And here is Okafor. From deep. Count it.
I'll tell you what, they are dialed in from three-point line here in the fourth quarter.
You called it.
And welcome, everyone, to another presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. Along with Steve Kerr and Clark Hamill, this is Kevin Harlan. It's the Chicago Bulls facing the Oklahoma City Thunder. It'll be the Thunder off the tip. Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Pippen is out there with Dennis Rodman. Then there's Harper. Then it's Longley. And it's Jordan in at the 2. Now here's Okafor. Shoots the 3, and that one's good. Okafor's got himself on the board with 3 there.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
The drive by Jordan. Here's Longley. The 7-2 Luke Longley cleaning up the mess inside.
And you got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
He can fly, can he? He'll make you forget he's a point guard sometimes.
Yeah, Clark. When he does decide to attack the basket, Kevin, he can do it with the best of them.
And this is the time to attack with these two teams locked in such a close game.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
Boy, just a brain cramp, guys. I mean, that should have been the simplest of exchanges.
Harper with the ball. Got a piece of it. Okafor with the steal. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City.
Oh, man, that was a real hard.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons This team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
Now here's Pippen. Rodman passes to Harper. No good on the triple. Clark, their offense has been great here.
Yeah, I love the way they've looked really strong together.
Yeah, very aggressive, too. Keeping the defense off balance with their ball movement. I like the way they look.
Pass to Pippen. Can they get it? The shot is off. So the Thunder will take it the other way. Davis setting the pick for Okafor. Cashes in for a double-digit lead. Okafor's got 12.
Boy, what a fantastic opening quarter for them.
Yeah, it sure has been. Look at the lead they've jumped out to already. Impressive.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
Well, I think the NBA is in a great place with all the young talent in the league right now. We see players coming in not just with potential, but a willingness to learn and work. Really impressive to see.
The drive by Jordan. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Strong move to the hoop. Nice power move. I like that one.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Okafor against Harper. LeBron outside. Back to Okafor. LeBron outside. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. 5 on the clock. And Okafor at the basket on the assist by George. And that's 15 points for the natural.
These teams don't look like they belong on the same court today.
It's pretty ridiculous to have a double-digit lead this early.
Pippen for 3. Dennis Rodman showing his tenacity on the offensive glass.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. He's got to be relentless.
And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
What a game we've seen here for Okafor. He already has 15 points, and from downtown, he's buried 3 three-pointers.
Yeah, when he's been able to get squared up and get a good look at the basket, it seems like everything's been going in.
No good on the second free throw. Bulls trail by 9. Oh, and a fast break for the Bulls. Here's Harper, and he jams it in. Out of this world. Aerial skills for a guy of his size.
Kevin, that's what separates him from some of the other point guards around the league. The ability to rise and throw it down.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that spurs them on. Maybe sparks a little bit of a comeback here.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Boy, the field goal percentage is fantastic. Exactly the kind of start they were hoping for.
Here is Harper. Paul George with the steal. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. And Okafor slams it in.
I couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's working, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for.
Harper against George. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession.
13 seconds on shot. 13.
And here are the Bulls now. 11-point game.
And that's a shot he had to take.
For sure, it was a good decision, just poor execution.
Okafor against Harper. Okafor kicks to George. And it's Okafor off the drive, and that one's good. Okafor's got 22 points.
Wow, he just keeps rolling. Unreal.
You talk about putting up points in a hurry. I mean, he's got personal spurt ability. He can't miss.
Here's Harper. Back to Rodman. Rodman double team. Shot clock at 6. And here now the Thunder. Oklahoma City leading by 13. Here's Okafor. Yeah! Ooh, what a shot!
Look at that.
Man, what a... They're really really struggling defensively, giving up too many easy buckets.
And they've been on fire offensively as a result, Clark.
You look at the natural, he's been playing really well.
He's been absolutely on fire from outside. He's got to get into his jersey, get up into him, force him to pass or drive.
And the Bulls making a change here. Kerr's check to Jordan. Got a piece of it. McGarry with the steal. And it's Okafor off the drive. Good. And the assist goes to LeBron. 27 points for the Natural. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Thunder.
Boy, their frenetic defense, showing ball handlers, they're turning them over.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunity. They're really keeping it up tempo so far.
And so here is Chicago. They trail by 18. Kerr kicks to Rodman. He's looking for Jordan in.
Oh, man, that was unreal.
Mark it up.
Now, Clark, that is just ridiculous.
Absolutely filthy. I don't remember ever seeing a dunk like that in a game. I certainly can't remember the last time I saw it.
Oh, man, that was just amazing.
And it's... what a play!
Oh, look at that.
That is a...
Bringing down the house. Reverberation throughout the entire building on that one.
It sure is. It up high and down hard on the windmill flush.
Oh, the signature Kevin Harlan call. Up high and down hard.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. That one goes. Count it. Okafor's got 31.
He is really putting his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
Okafor with the steal. And here's the fast break for the finish. The fast break ends at the rim with the jam.
I love the aggressiveness with their approach, pounding the ball inside, and it's working.
They are owning this game early. They are constantly finding lanes to the basket.
And the dunk to finish it off. Beauty.
Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on the ball. Defense to and welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And a very convincing performance from the Thunder so far.
How about the three-point shooting? The scoring has really come in bunches from long range.
Yeah, it seems like every time down the floor they're knocking down the triple.
The natural out there with Paul George. And it's LeBron James. Then there's Davis, and it's McGarry in at the center position. That's the group for Oklahoma City getting going here in the second.
Running it right down their throats. 3 straight buckets in transition.
Yeah, they're paying the price for their laziness right now, Clark. It's time to start competing.
Pippen with it. He's picked up by LeBron. Jordan inside. He's against Okafor. Out of bounds. Oklahoma City takes possession. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, Kevin, incredibly, Anthony Davis, one of the league's rangiest big men, and it's rumored that he's still growing. Asked about it, Davis joked, "I hope not. I don't want to be 7 feet. It just sounds weird, but if I grow, I can't help it." He does, however, want to get stronger, though. Now up over 240 pounds, he's putting in work in the weight room. Sounds like trouble for the competition, Kevin.
That should help him hold his own inside, Doris. Thanks.
And assists like that have typified their effort today. Great ball movement.
Really an example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Rips down the breakaway slam.
Well, they played terrific basketball at both ends, and that's why this lead is totally out of control.
Really been an almost flawless game for him, Steve. No doubt about it.
Okafor against Kerr. Outside Jordan. And the Natural's going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
Here's Kerr. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change.
That's a couple of very shaky possessions in a row. One turnover right on top of the other.
I think they just need to slow it down for a minute, catch their breath before they give the ball away again. Wow, what an incredible run they're on. This is as good an offense as you will see.
Well, every single guy on the floor right now just feeling it.
Back to Kukoc. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. And 3 from Jordan. Outside, Rodman. The dish to Jordan. And they double up Jordan. Passes it to Wennington. Back to Kerr. To halt the run, he lays it in.
Steve Kerr.
Kerr's got his first points of the night.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should really continue to work it down low, Clark. That's really going to free up the rest of their offense.
Well, they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
Well, and that's why they're on this run, guys. They're getting the ball inside and getting really high percentage looks.
Jordan kicks to Rodman. And down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist. No challenge from the defense there, Clark. Could have put that one through any way he wanted.
And I love the choice there, partner. Going hard to the hoop for that throwdown.
Yeah, that's invisible defense leading to a very visible finish.
That's his second personal foul. If he gets another, it probably puts him on the bench for the rest of the first half.
How about 3 minutes gone in this second quarter of basketball? Pass to Kukoc. Beyond the arc. Good.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
They are enjoying, Steve, a commanding lead.
Well, and it gives them the opportunity to give their starters a rest, which is so critical during this grueling NBA season.
And it's Okafor off the drive. It's stolen by Kerr. Here's Kukoc. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. George has got his third rebound tonight. Here's Okafor. That falls. Nice speed that time from George. George has got 5 assists tonight.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
Chicago calls timeout.
You know, he just isn't pleased at all with the looks they've given up defensively inside. So I think this timeout is all about trying to get his group to tighten up defensively.
They just don't look very sharp to me on the defensive side.
Simpkins, he's checked in for Wennington. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
I was able to listen in on what Chicago's coach was going over with his team. He said very simply, let's open things up and let's keep them open. Let's keep gunning. inning and get the defense on its heels. I'm sure Coach is hoping those changes turn the tide in this game and shrink the deficit before halftime. Back to you, Kevin.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Here's Okafor. Chicago grabs the miss.
That's flat out embarrassing. Now the shots are starting to fall a little bit more than they did in the first quarter.
Yeah, they say it's not how you drive, it's how you arrive in golf. Well, a shaky start can be overcome because now they're starting to heat up.
There's the triple, and he gets it to go. Okafor's got 48.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even better than his first, and that was pretty good.
Dishes it to Kerr. Okafor comes in with the double team. Just 5 to shoot. Outside Jordan. Here's the three. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
I just love the mentality they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing anything. They're moving it side to side, working to get a good shot.
His finishes can be dazzling, especially Clark at his side.
Well, you look at a guy who doesn't have the height of some other big-time dunkers, and it always looks better, and he certainly makes up for the lack of height with that athleticism.
Yeah, his leaping ability is just off the charts, guys.
Kerr dishes to Jordan. The rebound by McGarry.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Okafor. And again, Oklahoma sits.